Good morning, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Prodbug. And today I come up with one more interesting things which I recently learned, which is about Wiremock. So, friends, so you must have heard a lot of about the mocking, right? How to do the mocking, do this mocking, do that mocking, right? So, but what exactly is mocking, right? And as a QA, as an automation QA, why mocking is important to us, right? And especially if you are in API testing, right, then wire mock kind of thing is a must for you guys. Okay, especially if you are doing API automation. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, so this is the wire mock which we are going to discuss, and we'll see the coding of this. Very easy, very easy. It will just take half an hour, not more than that. Okay, so let me show you something. Okay, and before going that, you must have heard that Mockitto is one of the best framework, right? So I also agree with that. Mockitto is one of the best widely used Java framework for mocking. But please make a note that Mockitto is mainly used for developers. Okay, the meaning of developer is that whenever they are writing the unit test cases, at that point of time, they need to mock few classes, they need to mock few objects. For that kind of functionality, Mockitto is mainly used, right? But as a automation QA, when you are doing the API automation, at that point of time, Mockito is not that much used, or I don't know if can be used or not, but in that case, WireMock is the real thing which you need to go with that. Okay, so see, you can go in the Stack Overflow. You can see why WireMock provides a simulator of the HTTP-based API. Okay, while the Mockito provides the mock implementation of the methods and object. So in end-to-end testing, we don't need to mock methods and object because we are testing end-to-end APIs, right? So we need to hit a API and we are expecting some response from API. And if API is not available as of now, then we have to mock it. Okay, so simple funda of mocking. Okay, this is the website. So simple funda of mocking that if something is not present in real or have not been developed yet, but still we want to use it. Okay, so that is mocking. So if suppose you are hitting the railway station, railway API, right? And you are expecting that if you're sending few customer detail, then you should get a ticket ID or your what we say seat number kind of, right? But you can't hit the railway API in real time, right, while doing the development. So you will mock the railway APIs and you will hit that mocked API, and in response, that API will give some ID. Okay, that's your confirmation ID kind of thing. So that is what is mocking. Okay, so let's go step by step. In this tutorial, I am planning to cover these things. Let me show you. Uh, we have discussed a bit about this one. So I will show you how with the standalone jar we can use the mocking wire mock framework, how we can use, and because that is not much used because it's a standalone jar, but we will also cover how to start wire mock from a Java code. This is what will be used in our frameworks, right? And how to do the mocking response via code, and how to mock the response via JSON files, which will be very useful, and some conditional responses, mocking some based on some condition. We will hit single API and we will get different response based on some conditions. Okay, so these things I will walk you through for the wire mock things. So in the YouTube, I have when I am just learning this WireMock, I seen a lot of videos, but all the videos are mainly from the developer perspective. So it's very hard to understand. So I thought let's make some very easy to learn videos. As you have seen in my previous videos, all are very easy to learn for from QA point of view, right? Okay. So in this particular things, I am going to use three things. This is my POM file. Okay, so I'm going to use wiremock, the number one. Then we will use a TestNG for running our test cases, and we will use RestAssured. Okay, and I hope that you are aware with the RestAssured. If not, uh, I have a lot of series on the RestAssured. You can go through that. I will show you this one. Okay, API automation framework using RestAssured. Here I have covered all the RestAssured topic. one by one. And if you have not gone through the rest assured, I highly recommend you to go through that particular series. And apart from that, there are few YAML series. If you haven't not aware about that, there are few different topic for the SDET. If you are preparing for, or if you are want to switch your stream from manual to automation or SDET kind of profile, you can go all through all these topics. These are very useful in your daily life work. Okay, mutation testing, Lombok, and all these things you can go. And recently I have added this API high advanced topic in API automation. Okay, so reading and writing a JSON, because all these thing concepts are actually getting used in some or another way in our API automation. So this is a good thing if you are aware of all this topic. If not, okay, so let's focus on the what we say Wiremock. Okay, fine. So see, this is the website of the Wiremock. You just go and download the standalone jar from here. Okay, this is the first topic. After that, we'll go see the coding part. Okay, so download the standalone jar from here. I have already downloaded and stored here. Okay, so this is my downloaded jar. Okay, so let's open a command prompt and start this jar. Okay, so Java hyphen jar, and what is the name of Wiremock? Okay, so this jar I have started. So you can see that this has been started, and by default on 8080 port, this Wiremock has been started. So local host, if you hit localhost 8080, oh my God, localhost 8080, not started yet. Okay, we'll see what's the problem. Okay, so it may take time to, or maybe I am doing something wrong. Where is that command prompt? I'm not able to find. Let me again start Java hyphen jar Wiremock. Okay, so port 8080 we can see. Let me see now. Now it has been started. I don't know why it is not starting earlier. Whatever. Okay, so now this has been started. Okay, now let's go to our first case. Okay, so before that, see, I am going to hit this particular API, but before that, we need to do some mapping. So what are the mappings? So let's say this is a .json I have created manually. Okay, what we are doing in this, see, I will show you. Let me open this. Okay, so see, this particular JSON, it's a simple JSON. These are the keys, request, and this is the response. What I'm saying, this is the request I am going to send. Okay, with this JSON. Okay, and this is the response I'm expecting from that API. That API has still not been developed, but I am asking the Wiremock that if I am hitting this particular URL slash user slash one, and which will be a get request. If I am sending a get request and hitting this particular API, then I am expecting a status cost 200 and this some body, right? This is I'm telling to this Wiremock. Okay, and I have put in a mapping folder. You have to create a mapping folders here where your jar is present. Let's say your jar is present here. So just on the side of this, create a mapping folder. Okay, and just placed this particular JSON here. Okay, and then let's hit first test case. Okay, I'm commenting the rest of the test case. And what I'm saying, see, rest assured, this is again a rest assured we are using. Rest assured dot given, I'm hitting, and on localhost we have already started a server, right? And it is running on localhost 8080, right? I am hitting this particular endpoint user slash one, and I'm expecting a status code 200 because I have mentioned in the file. Okay, so let me run this particular via the TestNG I am running. So it has been passed, right? So this test case has been passed. Okay, this is a simple mocking. You understand my point? Okay, now what I'm saying that if I am hitting user underscore two, then I am assuming that status code be 201. But this API we need to make first, okay, in the mapping. Then again, let's go to the mapping and open this and see what I have mentioned here. If I am hitting a get request with this endpoint, then I am expecting 201 and some another body. Okay, these are small example. I am just showing to you that you can make any number of endpoints and you can simply run small test cases. Okay, again passed. And in this, see, now what I am saying, let me show you first. See, this is our request response mapping. Okay, you have to map it a request with a response. So this JSON is for mapping. If I am hitting this particular API, I will get this response. This is you're telling to Wiremock. Okay, so here again, what I'm saying, if I'm hitting this particular API with a get request, then I am expecting a body with these data, and this is the body and this is the header. I'm expecting it should be here. Okay, header with these two key value pair. Okay, content type should be text plain and token something token I'm expecting here. Okay, inside the header. Okay, so this I have mentioned here. Now go to the code and see how we have written a test case. RestAssured.given.get user under /3 and then assert that status code is 200. I know that. Then extract header content type. We have extracted the content type and we have printed here and we have just put a assertion here. Similarly, we can fetch the content type also. Okay, from the header, you can fetch anything. Okay, so let me run this particular code. Okay, so this test case has been passed. So you can see that via this thing. So we have what we have done in this one. We have started a what we say Wiremock. It is running on 8080, right? And then we have done some mappings in the mapping folders. There are a few JSONs which are doing the mappings, and we are hitting via the code from Eclipse. We have written these test cases, and we are hitting that API, and in response we are expecting something. So this API still has not been developed by the developer, but by using the request response mapping, we have created that kind of environment that yeah, this is a live API, right? So this is all about Wiremock. Okay, so this is the basic one just to get you started. Okay, but in real automation framework, these kind of things are not much used. Okay, so we need to see that how to start Wiremock from code. Okay, so let me stop this Wiremock server. Control C is not working. Oh, fine. So I have stopped it. Okay. Now let me run this particular test case. So right now localhost 8080 is not live, right? It is not, it's not running. So it should fail. Okay. So failure reason is, let's see the failure reason why it has been failed. Connection exception, right? Connection refused because we have stopped the server, right? So there is no localhost 8080 exist. So it will not start, right? So let me refresh this. So site can't be reached, right? So we have stopped. So hope you this point is clear to you guys. Okay, so now let's go to the second code. Okay, what we are doing here. See, now we are starting. I have stopped the wiremock, right? So now we will start the wiremock from code. Okay, so what I have started, I have created a host, simple static final string, localhost. I have defined my port 8080, generally 8080, or you can change to anything else. And here I have created a mock server object and I have initialized it with a port. Okay, so this is our server. Okay, in the before class, what I am doing, I am starting this particular Wiremock server. Okay, so this Wiremock has been started with 8080 port, but we have not defined localhost yet. So this is the method wiremock.configure for. So here I have to give the host localhost 8080 and the port. Okay, so now this server has been hosted ready, and it has been started for localhost and 8080 port, right? So only these three lines, these two lines, and our server is up and running. After that, what I have done, see, in the previous case, you have seen that we have made some request and response, right? So now these things we have to define in code. What will be my request and what will be my response? These two things you always have to define for any mocking. Okay, so see, this is the response I am expecting, and this is the request I am sending. Okay, so these two things you have to define. So always we have to define the response first, because we are passing this response object in the here in this particular line. Okay, so here what we have done, response definition builder. Let me show you the imports. These are the imports. You can just go through them if you got some error. So in response definition builder, what I have created an object mock response. So here I am defining all my criteria, like it should be a status code 201 with some status message. Okay, and some headers. These are the headers. I have passing my token and all these things. So I have defined some headers and with some body. Okay, this is a dummy response which I am expecting. Okay, and this is the API which I want to hit. Okay, so I'm not adding here localhost 8080 because that is default. Okay, so here, so you can use any one of them. Wiremock.stuff, or generally the first one is widely used. So you have to define wiremock.stub for. We are doing it's called stubbing, right? We are doing the stubbing. This is the stub. Okay, so we are hitting this particular endpoints, and it will return what it will return, mock response. It will return this. So if we are hitting employee slash one, then it will give me this particular response. This is the mapping which we have done in the JSON files. So that mapping I have done in the code in the before class. Okay. So this is clear. We have started the Wiremock server, and here we have defined the mapping. These two things are clear, right? Okay. Now this is the method. And in the after class, what I am doing, I am simply shutting down it. If it is running, then shut it down. So Wiremock server will be started and it will be shut down in the after class. Okay, what I'm doing right now. So I have created a test API. It will be a combination of localhost 8080 and the emp employee slash one. Okay, so this is the test API. We will print it here. So this is again rest assured. RestAssured.given, we are hitting this particular API, and in the status code I am expecting 201, and I have extracted the response in this particular object. And in response, then I am testing C get header token, and it should be 1111. Okay, so C we have given here. So I'm just doing the assertions here, and the status line should be this. Session ID should be this. You can match here. Session, this is same session ID and all these things. So you can do any assertions kind of thing. Okay, so let me run this particular code. So this will start a Wiremock server, initialize, and one test case has been passed. And you can see that shutdown, and this is the service to be hit. Okay, so I hope this point is clear to you. This is very simple, right? We have started a Wiremock server. We have mentioned the mapping in these two, response and request mapping, and we are simply hitting that particular API here and doing the assertions, right? Simple. Okay, now if let's say your response is very big and very complicated, let's say very hierarchical response is there, okay, JSON under JSON kind of thing, very confusing. So it will be very difficult to make a response here using the Java code. Okay, so what we can do, so there is another way to that, to handle that kind of things. So see, you have to create double underscore files folder here. Okay, it should be like that only. And under the JSON folder, I have created index.json. So this is my index.json. So you can just create your response here in this case. Okay. And we need to give the path of that response. This is a response. Okay. This is a response. And we need to create the path of that in our body. Okay. So let's go through this particular code, how this is working. Again, let's go to the import first. All are almost same imports, nothing new. And uh, here, okay, this is exactly same. We have defined the local host 8080 endpoints. Okay, this is our new endpoint. Okay, which we are going to hit, and this is a dummy endpoint. Okay, and we are starting. We have make the object of Wiremock server, and we have started the server. We have configured it for host and port. Okay, and here, look, we have again created a response definition builder like we have done in the previous case. Uh, okay, but what we are doing here, we have just defined the status coast. It should return to 01. But see, this is the important step. Mock response with body file. Okay, so rather than giving all these details, what I have done, I have simply created a body. Okay, so header and all this thing you can define here, but especially with the body because that's the main most difficult part. So we have given the path. So JSON slash index.json. Okay, so till this point, it will read automatically. Okay, but you have to give only this particular path which I have shown you here. Source test resources file still here, no need to give the path. You need to give only path starting from JSON and index.json. Okay, that much part you have to give. So and this is the stubbing. This is the response we have defined, that whatever the response in the file, that is our response. And if we'll hit this particular endpoint, then it should return this particular response from that file. Okay, this is mapping we have done here. Okay, and in the test method, what we are doing, simply again making that API, test API, and from the rest assured we are hitting this get test API, and then it should return to 01 because we have mentioned it here. And then we are extracting the response, and in the response what we are doing, we are using the JSON paths. And see, glossary.title, what is that? So what I'm saying, go to glossary and then go to title, and it should be the Lord of the Rings. Okay, now you can better see. So this things I am doing verification of that part. And what else I am doing? GML. Okay, so this is the X JSON path. Okay, and JSON path can be tested in this site I have given here, jasonpath.com. You can just verify, put your JSON, and you can verify your JSON paths. You can write this and test if it's valid JSON or not. So what I'm doing, I am fetching this particular value. Okay, so I am going from glossary to glossary dev, then glossary list, etc., etc. And after that, I am getting GML from the glossy also. Glossy also, first element, zeroth element is GML. This is what I'm doing the assertion. Okay, so let me run this particular class. Wiremock server will get started, and see, this has been passed. Okay, so this verification we have done from the JSON file, right? Fine, friends. So this is very important because if your response is very small, you can use this kind of approach. If your response is very big, you can use this kind of approach, right? Both the approaches. This is about Wiremock, nothing else more than that. Okay, so just one last topic is uh, it's also very interesting. You can have a look. So what if I am hitting, let's say, I am hitting a single API, but based on the headers, based on the request you are sending, the response will be different. Okay, so let me explain you using the code. Uh, Conditional mocking. Okay, fine. See, let me brief you. Look at the imports. These are not required. Okay, these are the imports. And what I want to say you that these are the two response. In one response, what I am suggesting that my endpoint should return 503, and the header should be text slash HTML, and service not available. This is my response one. Okay, and in second response, I will hit the same API. Okay, please make note that I am hitting same endpoint. Okay, I'm not changing the endpoint. Endpoint is movies/1. If you hit this particular API, response will be different based on some condition. I will tell you. So this is the response one. It should return, it should throw 503 service not available, all these things. And in the response to it should be 200, a valid response. And something current status is running and content type is application JSON, etc. Okay. So this is the stubbing part. What I'm saying, if I am hitting this particular endpoint with header text/plain, then you return response one. Otherwise, if the header value, okay, in the request, Uh, if it's a application JSON, then it should return response to. Okay, so this is about the request. We are saying if in the request, if in the headers, in the request headers, if we are sending, if we are hitting this particular endpoint with text/plain, then you should return response one. Otherwise, response two should be written in this case. Okay, this is what I am making the conditions here. Okay, and this is the code I am just mentioned here. You can write in this style also. Okay. Okay, and see, this is the okay, so this is the first test case. Okay, let me uh, comment the rest of the test cases. We'll go one by one. Okay, this is the before class I have already explained you. Okay, now get to the first test case first. What I'm doing here, this is the API. It will remain same, right? What I'm saying here, see, if I'm hitting here, I am hitting this particular API, but I'm sending this password, this header in the request. I'm saying accept. I'm sending, this is the key and this is the value, text plain. Okay, so can you guess which response should come? See, here we have given a text plain. Okay, this is the header, request header, right? So response should be the first response, right? It will, this particular endpoint will get activated and it will give me response one. And what is one? It is this. It should be 503, service not available. All these things should be thrown, right? See, I am doing the assertion on status code and it should be HTTP status 50. It's a 503. You can see here. Okay, service unavailable. Okay, let me run. This has been passed. All the assertion has been passed, right? So this is about that. Okay, now okay, let me have a look on the test code 2. Okay, so what is this? If we are hitting in the header, see, I am passing the headers as accept application/JSON. Okay, if I'm sending with this header, then I am expecting response to. And what is response to? The body's current status is running, all this thing, and it is 200, right? So this is about the second response. So let me run this particular case. Okay, so second test case has been passed. Okay, so let me comment. So in this particular case, second response is coming, right? Because we are sending request header as application/JSON. Okay, now third case, let me comment the rest of the test case. In the third case, I have just modified the endpoint, some wrong API. Okay, so this is not existing. Okay, just this is for the demo. If we are hitting any other APIs which has not been mocked, for which we have not made a stub, because see, we have made a stub only for this particular endpoint. If you are hitting any other endpoint, so it should not be available and we should get not found kind of. Okay, so 404 should be thrown. So we have made a endpoint and we have appended some wrong API, and here I am hitting with, it can be anything, doesn't care, because we are going to hit a wrong endpoint and see. Let me run and it should throw 404 because we have not done the stubbing for this endpoint. If we will do the stubbing for this particular endpoint, then it will give some valid response, right? So this test case has been passed. So this is from my side what I have learned from the wire mocking. There are something more recording and all this thing. I'm going through them. If I found them useful, I will definitely come again to showcase those. Let me know if wire mocking is clear to you. Come on the comment section. You can ask me. Okay, and whatever you have any doubt, I will try to clear. And I hope you like this particular session and hope you will use in your frameworks. Right, friends? So thank you for watching and giving a lot of good comments to my channel. Thank you. Happy weekends to you. Have a good day. Bye bye.